black bureaucratic and money laundering hole. So this is revolutionary what we're doing here. We're totally undercutting those bastards and just making them look bad, basically, is what one of the things. So because we're promoting direct or referral marketing, I guess, in the sense of matchmaking, just putting people in touch with one another and stepping back from their relations, letting them take care of it, letting them work it out themselves. Okay, let's go, guys. We're ready to go here. You have been decent. We had Robert Morningstar here the first night, and then Mark was here with Censorship Sucks last evening, and just it's typically the way it goes, you know. So it's all random, which is great. Okay, damn, you know what I should do is actually get this on. Whoops. Okay. Well, Chris, you want me to mute your? I have to mute you out if you're not going to do it. You guys got both.
I have a mute button on my mic.
But I can hear you talking.
Well, I just unmuted it so you could hear me, goof.
I heard you with a deep kind of sigh too for that, though, right? Like you're like, whoa, when's this asshole going to start the show? Come on, just mute yourself out and fine. I don't like it when people do that, but if they say fine, then half the time they cut in. Okay, so we're muted. Okay. There we go. We're live in some sense. I can talk, of course. I have to wait a little bit. Yay, we have Facebook here. You know, you guys are on the live channel. That's why it's difficult. Just gonna wait here. Give it a few seconds. We got to close that down. Okay, well, we're not going to screw around here too much longer. 3, 2, 1.
Looking to lend a little hand this holiday season? Do your part in helping out those in need. You might want to consider getting involved on some level with Operation Secret Santa. Here's a quick overview. Formally kicking off on December 15th, Operation Secret Santa, that's hashtag OSS, is a world grassroots, strictly people-driven, Christmas charity, telethon-styled internet campaign. Referral marketing, or what's otherwise known as word of mouth, drives the project's big red sleigh, with all money, donations, and the like going directly to the needy who are selectively sponsored. The 4 main categories of participants we're looking for include 1. Live streaming web show hosts, speakers, producers, and performers. 2. Operator matchmaking elves, making their lists and checking them twice. 3. Secret Santa sponsors. And 4. People in any place around the world living in need, worthy of a little Christmas hand up. This year's organizers are presently working on mobilizing and building upon last year's preliminary success, with donation levels capped at a suggested price value limit of $1,000. If you've any further questions, be sure to drop by WPRPN.com or check out our groups on both Facebook and Minds.com via a keyword search of simply Operation Secret Santa, hashtag OSS.
Welcome, everybody. Once again, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys to this evening's. We're talking this evening here via Seoul, South Korea, of course. It's early morning hours back in the West across the Americas, but show segment number 3 of this year's Operation Secret Santa 2025 Christmas Telethon charity relief, outreach, and consciousness raising campaign. I myself am your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com, of course, is the website you'll want to drop by, take a look at. I'd like to learn a few more things about who we are, essentially, what makes the network tick. That is a World Pirate Radio Podcast Network, the People's Pirate Network. So a lot of moving parts to the campaign. Just ask that, of course, if you support what we're doing here, for starters, you take a look simply at the show description end of things. The Operation Secret Santa link is critical, of course. We have it both in English and Korean, something that we've just started this year and we'll be working with throughout the foreseeable future. Got a couple great mateys here waiting in the wings. No strangers to the show. Regular listeners will immediately recognize, hopefully without too much difficulty. We had Robert Morningstar help to kick things off with the first show this year. I remember it was a couple of years back. Vinny from Brooklyn, as a matter of fact, showed up from, just pretty much out of nowhere. The cosmos delivered, as it so often does, at least at this stage of the game. It's really good to see people turning out and showing up in support of what we're promoting here throughout the course of the Christmas season, essentially carrying a torch. Keepers of the flame, keepers of the sacred flame. Given the fact, of course, that if you think about what would happen down through history, anytime people were trying to survive throughout the winter months, and they lost their fire, and that in the depths of winter, that sacred magical spark was gone, essentially leading to some pretty major problems, of course. So, but yeah, once again, a lot of moving parts. We got a lot of people floating around on the fringes of things here, people that we'd like to give shout outs to throughout the course of the show. And we had, once again, Robert on board lending a little wingman support the first evening. It's actually an afternoon show here via South Korea. It would have been evening time back in the West. And last night, Mark of Drigas Productions, along with first time ever, John Galt, a.k.a. Censorship Sucks. So big thanks to both of them. Now, I'm just trying to, I don't know if either of you guys had the chance to listen to things last night. I did have a list of people, though, that had connected with us, trying to think who that may have been. It'll come to me in a second, but Chris Do Better out of Atlanta, Georgia, and Roger Hansen, courtesy of West Frankfort, Illinois. Why don't you hop on the mic there, the two of you, and introduce yourselves? Give us just a brief rundown as to...
Hey now, this is Do Better or Chris Do Good.
That's right.
You can find me on minds.com at Chris DOOGOOD. And yeah, I'm just here to, show support and fill in what I can.
That's great. Yeah, we really appreciate it, man. So I think you were here last year too for a show or two, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't that the
Yeah,
case?
yeah, I was around.
That's great. Really good.
Yep.
Good stuff. So, and we'd like to hear a little bit as well before you check out here tonight about the project that you're working on revitalizing. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or not, but via minds.com, which I guess more or less has to do with spotlighting or showcasing certain
Yeah,
features.
it'd be a live stream, and actually we're floating using an alternative platform if Minds isn't willing to jump on board and support the project. So yeah,
Oh,
it's basically it would be a place for everybody to showcase themselves, and it would also promote the platform as a whole. So it's like a win-win for everybody. And then eventually, if it does well, it could lead to like a profit sharing from whatever the live stream does.
have you, what is the latest via the Ottman camp, as it were, regarding these matters?
I
You've
mean, it's
heard.
the holidays, so I haven't really been pushing it too much, you know. Let
Mm-hmm.
them have their holiday time. They're, busy.
Oh, I see.
So, and yeah, if in the early year we don't, maybe near the end of January, something hadn't been, you know, put in stone or whatever, started getting the ball rolling, then I'm gonna have to push it to some other platform. But yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I guess, yeah, sometimes our patience can only last so long. And
Hmm. Hmm.
especially when we got these great ideas, champing at the bit, I guess as it's known. A lot of people say
Hmm.
chomping,
Right,
but
right.
so anyways, and hey, who knows, man, could be thinking about it now, just off the top of my head, perhaps some etymological, here's your first $10 word of the show, folks. Etymological relationship between champion and champion, So how many
Yeah,
racehorses down through history were named champion or champ?
I'm sure of quite a few.
There's been a few, yeah. So, uh, Roger Hansen, you're up. What can you tell us about yourself? What brings you here?
Give me a
So
second.
on
I
and
had to
so forth.
unmute and everything. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. I'm Roger Hansen. You can catch me on mines too. I usually stick to the VoIPs. I'm on the Teams, Discord, Elements Matrix. Other than that, you can catch me on mines. Sometimes, if I'm in the mood to go on there, I'm also on X. Sometimes I don't get on Telegram or anything
Yeah,
like Facebook. So
yeah, yeah,
you find me
yeah. It's
at
kind of yeah,
The
yeah.
Wonderful World of Weirdness on Discord. You can also find me at Gaming with Infamous on there, as well as on like Rumble and YouTube. I go by those, but other than that, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Roger
Oh,
underscore Hanson on mines.
right. Yeah, excellent. So, well, I'm going to do a little multitasking here behind the scenes, but while we're uh, busying ourselves with this whole matter, and but by the way, in case you're wondering, that is Angel the Jackal Espino, one of his more recent visits to the hospital. I just really wonder. I kind of wonder and worry about the guy to the point where, uh, we've pledged $100 in support of the people of Gaza, the actual genuine, long-standing indigenous Semites of the region, not these fake, phony wannabes, imported from Eastern Europe, you know. So, and just because of the total catastrophe that they've had to face and been made to endure over the past couple of years, all on the basis of a total false flag. In case it's funny that the mainstream media just is not able to. This doesn't register with them, and or if it does, they can't help but try to hoodwink the public, the audience, the people that follow them, through television or what have you, and really in many ways it is an insult to people's intelligence. But I guess there are some pretty gullible and dumbed down individuals out there who just will believe anything that either the TV tells them or they read it online or what have you. So, but yeah, it's been a total genocide, obviously, and a David and Goliath story of epic proportions. So yeah, $100 in support of the people of Gaza through one of our journalist contacts. The problem, however, though, is, and there's a couple of them that we've reached out to via X, as it were. It was first just a young lady, and then later more like a middle-aged man type individual. But either way, like, these people are just heroic in what they do, given the fact that they're unarmed, heavily they try to protect themselves with protective vests and helmets and so forth, but there are all too many that have been just murdered in cold blood. So along with the nurses and doctors and just patients waiting to be treated in the hospitals and mosques, schools, you name it. It's just, I got to the point where I couldn't watch it anymore, obviously, because it was just the graphic nature to things. But yeah, so $100, and we're challenging all of our listeners to meet or beat that amount. The problem is, however, finding a blue check marked verified account. We just went back and took a look at both of their X profiles. Neither of them has a verified blue check mark account. If we cannot get, and it's this young lady that we connected with first go around, there's a lot of great content on our channel. It seemed all to be up to date and so forth. It didn't appear to be overly AI in nature. These days you never can tell, but if we can't at least have an audio connection and conversation for a few minutes where we can bring her onto the show, or even if just behind the scenes, if she's not wanting to go live with us, we can't, there's no way that we can follow through on things. We'll have to find some other way of supporting them, because nobody who wants to be duped, right? Who wants to be hoodwinked by who knows who exactly, whether the Mossad or just some money grubbing, who could be like a Hamas asset, or God only knows, just some callous grifters. So, or just you just never know with these things. Then again, it could all be on the up and up. They just haven't got around to getting verified. I mean, we haven't, in many cases, other than mine. So, but outside of that, last night we pledged $50 in support of the work that Alan Tankman Fredrickson has been doing via Fort Collins, Colorado, with the Home Network .tv. So, and Angel, because we initially did see Angel there, of course, and we're thinking of maybe. I mean, we've helped him in the past. And we're gonna mute Roger out there. He's coming in a little hot with, I'm not sure if it's potato chips or what exactly, but
rolling a cigarette.
And that's just something as far as the campaign is concerned, one of the items and angles, you have to be careful with who you're supporting, who you're pledging your support. Pledge backing, basically. You want to have that authenticated and as clear as possible. So, but there we go. And just to be clear, try to be as brief as possible. We are not soliciting any direct donations ourselves. Instead, what we're looking to do is to help to facilitate like people coming together in matchmaking type scenarios where Secret Santas find the people that they're looking for, either in their area or through the interwebs. And then we step back and recuse ourselves of any further involvement. Let them figure it out how they want to work things out. So that can either include, obviously like monetary cash basis, people supporting others, food, medicine, clothing, toiletries, whatever a part-time job. We get the example, for example, do you call them baristas in the States? I think you do, don't you? That's what they're known as here in Korea, the coffee makers, people working in coffee shops. Let's say you got a single mom like Tracy, I think her surname is Joy Steele. She had a really peculiar, unique name. As an example, someone such as her in her situation or scenario, single mom with a couple kids, and she's looking for a job, and she's got these the skill set where she is able to, she's got experience working in coffee shops and dealing with cash registers and the public and whatnot, and she just happens to be out of work. So Secret Santa comes along. It's like, well, I know someone who might be able to offer you a job, whether they themselves or someone in that they know of, is they're able to put these people in touch with. It's as simple as that, really. So just encourage people to think outside the box, obviously. But yeah, we're once again nothing like UNICEF or the Red Cross, Salvation Army, anything along those lines. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Sorry, mothers. It's on the surface of things, it's a worthy cause, but the Bush, Clinton, Katrina Hurricane Relief Fund, dear God, it's the same thing time and again, where they are siphoning off around 90 cents on the dollar is how we understand things to operate with these terribly bloated bureaucracies. Really, that you can just imagine the amount of money laundering as well too that's taking place. God only knows, and that's where I think outfits, anarcho-libertarian, frankly, that we are, the way that we just come together and freely, freely associate. Go about doing our business, getting the job done as best we can. We make these outfits look pretty bad, clearly showing them that there's a much better way and approach in doing things, that where people don't just have to be throwing their money away and having it completely end up in the wrong set of hands. That's what we find here time and time again. So a few other items and angles that could add to this, but we'll leave it at that for now, just for, I'm not sure if you guys have any questions for clarification's sake, or any things you'd like to talk about as far as Christmas itself is concerned, or what's been going on in your communities, West Frankfurt, Atlanta. Chris, what's the deal in Atlanta? You hearing much about Christmas, the food kitchen, the kitchen, soup kitchens and the food lines, or how things operate there logistically with the homeless? And how is the homeless situation in Atlanta? Is it stable or getting worse over the years, improving? What's the deal?
I haven't been looking in the Atlanta area
No
too
idea.
much lately.
Mhm.
I'm more south of Atlanta, so
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
like in the immediate
no.
Atlanta area.
hmm
But yeah, it's generally pretty decent. Not near as like prevalent as, you know, LA's and New York's and stuff like that, or Oregon, you know. But you still see it for sure. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
And the drug situation too, with the fentanyl and all that other crap.
Oh yeah, that's just meth, fentanyl. Like there's different things going around the whole state, even the whole southeast. You know, I think
Matt.
meth is more of the issue.
Okay. Shout out here to Matt Ember, friend of ours via Facebook that we tagged here with the the show going live. He's got back to us, wishing us a Merry Christmas. Much appreciated, Matt. Hope that you'll stick around for a little while, leave some comments, thoughts regarding Christmas and solutions as well too. Who was it talking last night about the Corbett report and how they were doing propaganda?
That was me. That was me.
Well, you,
And
okay, so
solutions.
you were here last time. My man, I'm just it's these hot
Yeah.
toddies. One too many hot toddies. Grandpa's knocking back here. So yeah, yeah. But that's great. Yeah, from propaganda watch to propaganda to solutions watch. Tell us more about that then.
Oh yeah. Just it's better to focus on the solutions instead of the propaganda and all the fear and, you know, things that are basically in place to keep us in control. They're not really helping us or, you know, out to better
hmm
our lives. They're only in place to keep control and power and authority over us so that we continue to go the path that they decide we should be going. And it's how's it looking? How y'all feeling out there? Y'all like the way the current paradigm is, or do y'all think we need a change? Well, let's talk about finding more harmonious, you know, something that's more compassionate and cooperative, that type of thing. Not so we've been so heavily indoctrinated and propagandized about things like uh communism and socialism and all these things that are meant to guide us away from even don't even think about cooperating and, you know, coming together. That's just look at how it'll end, you know, just like you'll all get killed and starve and blah blah blah. But if we actually step back and we come together to realize that we have a lot in common, our different cultures, and if we can find that common ground, we can start to enact some real change, not some political mumbo jumbo bull crap that some politician dreamed up to just enrich himself and his immediate cronies.
Well,
So
that's what we're talking
the
about when we're looking
system
at
is fully corrupt.
UNICEF. It's
We've
yeah.
all seen the corruption so much, and we know the prevalence, and there's no reason to continue to harp on it to you know, like try to continue to expose it. It's or not. I mean, we it's already so exposed that we need to figure more of like how to get away from it. And the only way that I see is counter economics. And that's like Murray Rothbard and uh, Mises and stuff like that, von Mises, and you know, people that were trying to make some change and educate people to their own authority, really, and free market systems, away from government intervention to control markets.
One more time, away from
Government
centralized.
intervention.
Yeah, centralized.
Right.
That's the communist
The
way,
all
really.
the propping up of like the sugar industry and the dairy industry or whatever is being propped up. The oil industry, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that the government is keeping going that should not be existing, because we could evolve and evolve the technology to something that is better for everyone, but it gives those people in power no, don't do that. That's then we can't control you. So yeah, there's a lot we've got to come to grips with, that we've all been lied to, and we've also been complicit in the lie, like making it continue, because we refuse to admit that we've been lied to.
Okay, and
So
specifically,
solution is look for the truth and stop lying to yourself.
Well, that's what we're trying to do here, I think, really, with the campaign, and to work on bringing about promoting alternative ways in problem solving, really solution-based campaigns and approaches to solving hunger,
the only way is
poverty.
to look within. We all have to do the work, our individual selves.
That's right.
And get to a place of understanding your own power and authority, and direct your life in a way that is, something that we all agree on, type of thing, that we all understand. It's kind of like a universal truth, and then we start to go that direction, instead of this bullshit direction that the government has been lying to us, telling us we got to live this way.
Now, with technocratic auspices of the technocracken, doing all it can, the smart grid, full spectrum dominance, as it's known in military terms.
They know so much better than you. You could never. Why would you think that you could come in this world and just be without our guidance and keeping you safe? You couldn't keep yourself safe by yourself. Come on, little citizen. That's what they want you to think. So look deep, find your power, and start to utilize it.
So yeah, it's that sounds great. Obviously, not too many people disagree to that, presumably, but within the context of the campaign in particular, and Christmas, what more could we do, or what is it that we're doing right? How could we improve on things, as far as you see it?
That's
any
that's
ideas?
kind of. I'm sorry.
Are you stumped? You got to.
Yeah, I don't know how to think about that. I wasn't having that in my.
Have to sleep on that one, maybe.
Thought, yeah.
Well, it is a Christmas campaign, so I think there's what you're speaking to actually does complement what we're doing here in a big way. As I was saying, so with this problem solving, solution based approach, you are right, though. It's long been known that the powers that be, like, they're control freaks, basically. There's nothing, as we, the old saying goes, everything is under control.
Okay, so
You know,
if you're of the ability, you have the resources financially or whatever, maybe it's materials.
wherewithal, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh, stop being greedy. Like, go out and help your brothers and sisters. We're all connected. So you're not just helping them, you're helping yourself. Because the more you help each other, the more we grow and advance as a society. So,
Okay, so handing out blankets, then, things like toiletries, towels, clothing, and the like to homeless people in Atlanta or the whichever areas, for example, that we find ourselves based out of in the world, and there is a homeless problem. Uh, Ultimately, in helping others, you're saying in ways like that, it helps us as well too. Is that right?
yeah, for sure.
How so?
Because we're all
See,
connected.
there's a follow-up question to this
Yeah, I already
that
said that, because we're all
people
connected.
can sometimes be
And
expecting it. So hang on a second. I'll put you on hold here. We got Matt Imber coming in once again via Facebook. Thank you, Matt, saying that he offers a solution of sorts in his 42-minute PowerPoint. It sounds cool. He made a year ago about the 9/11 truth movement. Jump to the end for the solution of mine. So, well, interesting. So, okay. Now, are you speaking, Matt, to do better's point, or to mine, or who's exactly? By the way, here we go. Having lost connection. This is interesting. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I
I can
think you
hear you.
can.
I can
This
hear
is
you.
this is okay. Like the internet, every night they've messed with us. First of all, they tried to shut the campaign down. I guess as soon as we started talking about 9/11, that's just like a bridge too far for somebody. It's what it kind of looks like here. So, saying that the connection is lost. Please wait. Restream is trying to. Oh, thank you, Restream. Well done. Thankfully, we have Beam. We have Beam over here, and I'm not sure what the deal is there, but no, not sure either why. Oh, it says we're live here on Beam, running the last 35 plus minutes. Quite peculiar, quite odd. So, yeah, maybe we can copy and paste what Matt has got here. And bloody hell. No, these bastards have shut us down for now. Son of a bitch. But what's interesting is we're still live with the OBS, so we are going through uh these other these other platforms. YouTube won't allow us to live stream. D Live, we got a handful of folks over there, viewers as it were. So hopefully they'll become more directly engaged and have a few thoughts of their own. Rumble, we yet to work that out. We got, oh shit, do we have Telegram? I don't think we got our Telegram up and running, did we? Let's take a look at that here. So, but go ahead, guys. Anything more you'd like to add to that? Handing things over to you here, I guess, Roger, and following up on
Well,
what Chris
everybody,
had to say, or expand just on with more
everybody's
generally the Christmas
everybody
end of things.
generalizes too much. You know what I mean? It's like
Well, yeah.
it's really about a game of action.
Uh-huh.
You can't generalize about how you're going to end starvation or stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you go beyond generalizing everything, it gets complicated. So of course everybody's got to complicate the shit out of stuff. You know, it's
Anything more you'd like to? Add to that, you like that echo, that telegram echo coming through loud and clear
Yeah.
there. So, but how about this? Act locally, think globally. Is
That's
there anything?
exactly what I'm about. I'm about, I mean, worry about what's going on in your neighborhood. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you got people right now who are living right next door to you who's got some serious problems and nobody even
yeah.
cares.
I'll tell you what. Here's something. I'll give you an example of working with the adult students that I've got here. It's a really kind of heartwarming story that I think we can include as part of the campaign. There's no doubt. Talked about the other night. 100 kilos, 100 kilos of maybe not what some people would want, but rice is the commodity we're looking at here, and 5 families receiving 20 kilos each of rice through this one local church. I mean, it only goes so far, but for me, it's a question of, what would Jesus do, or what would Robin Hood do? To me, it's pretty much they're almost. I guess one is more the pagan side of the whole deal, the face, spirit of this really great potentiality of what we could be as individuals, obviously, and then more generally in communities or
That's a whole
groups
nother
as a whole.
subject of the whole spirituality thing. Like
Uh-huh.
our system of church and like praising, worship God, the
Yeah.
devil, all, and the different religions having their own. I don't, I haven't
Face.
studied everything about all the different religions, but I know a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of variations, and there's a little bit of stuff that kind of is close to the same. And it's just interesting how we're getting so globally connected, like literally, and then we're also metaphysically like connected. And up until, this global like electronic, technological connection, we've been secluded into our own areas where we were able to propagate whatever ideology and rhetoric we wanted to, espouse whatever, and there was no way of this other place over here knowing anything about it. So we couldn't justify or control what we couldn't communicate the fact that this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And
Or
we're now we're
virtuous. Or virtuous, right?
right.
It's like
There you
the
go.
other
Yeah,
side
yeah,
of the
yeah.
coin
There you
too.
go.
Something's
And
worthy.
now we're starting to be able to do that, call things out for whether it's just, just or injustice, whatever you want to call it. And it's really peculiar that people are still latching on to their indoctrinated ideology that is so obviously blatantly just false.
leading them
And
leading them off in the wrong direction, or a direction that is
right,
not helpful to anyone.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
but
And then you have
okay.
people that are being led by these spiritual beliefs, and they're put into the actual government, actually telling you what you can and can't do in this physical world, and backed up by force, threats of force and violence. And it's just, that's part of what is another thing that needs to be solved. Is we all need to come together to figure out this religion thing, so that we can all get on the same page and start to go in the direction that we truly say that we really want to go. So if we really want to go in the direction of peace, harmony, stop seeing all the rapes and killings and all the murders and whatever, that we hate, and we truly say that we want to have peace, harmony, and, connection, then we have to be able to be ready to do the things that it takes to get to where we say we truly want to go. So are you prepared to do the thing? That's what we need to do, is start getting away from the lies, and we all know what they are. If you don't, you're lost in the lie. Wake up.
Lost in the lie. Lost in the lie. Your accent, southern accent, I guess, is coming through
I
pretty
like to call
strong
that.
there.
I like to call that
I like that one.
self-denial. It's like we were talking about that the other day on Bob Dub's show.
But
Mhm.
how about, well, let's yeah, but also try not to deny the fact, we should be
And
working on
even
keeping
with
the
me saying
focus
all
on the
this,
Christmas campaign.
even with me saying all this, I'm
Uh-huh.
not trying to say that I'm perfect and like I'm not lost in the lie, because I'm right here with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you right now, and I'm doing the same thing, going to grocery stores and, eating restaurants and whatever. But I'm trying to go away from that stuff too. So it's I'm still doing my work as well. So I'm not perfect.
There's an old
Just
saying.
wanted
It's
to
called. It's
point
called.
that out.
It's called "To thyself be true," and there's a meaning to that, and a lot of people don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sounds like authenticity.
to thyself be true. Yeah.
Isn't that authentic life?
Mm. Well, you have to be honest to yourself before you can be honest to somebody else. If you're running around
Yeah.
telling yourself lies, then you're gonna
Yeah.
lie to everybody
Well, a
else.
lot of people, you got to understand though too, that the way that some people have the environment that they found themselves raised in. They were raised like their family, it was not a great environment to be born into. It's some pretty awful karma that's
I've
come
lived
their
that
way.
life. I've lived that life, man. I would have been dead freaking
Well,
20 years ago off of heroin.
okay, yeah, but
I
you
mean,
you survived and you came out of
well,
it.
that's because I didn't feed into that bullshit. I could have blamed my whole freaking past on every problem I had today.
Yeah, you
Okay,
overcame it.
I didn't grow up in a stable freaking family that actually was functional. Okay, my family
Mm-hmm.
is everything
I
but functional.
I think hardly anybody in this world has. There's nobody
You
here.
know,
Nobody gets out alive, but we're all scarred. The world,
well,
this
you just have
take
to
our
be
bumps and
honest with
bruises.
yourself, though. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Stop trying to picture everything in your life as being 100% beautiful when you know damn well that you didn't come from a beautiful life. But
Uh-huh.
admit to it and then move on. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like
Uh-huh.
if I was to think like that when I sobered up from drugs and alcohol, man, I would have freaking been back to the bottle and the dope. Quickest,
What, blaming your upbringing, blaming your family for
blaming
everything?
everything. You know what I mean? It's take
On
responsibility for my own actions instead
Yeah,
of
of course. Well,
blaming
yeah.
it on something or somebody
Right.
else. It
Right.
wasn't the booze that screwed my life up. It wasn't the drugs. It was me.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Well, but what I think I find it difficult not to see how some people, they are born into a life where they're not at an equal advantage. Like there's people like this Nick Reiner kid the other day who totally blew it, right? His whole life, and even to the point of killing his parents. But he had everything there for him on a silver platter. He had just everything to be thankful for. But because of the drugs, I guess, and then that fueling mental illness, presumably, it just took him ultimately to the point where he ended up going like right over the edge. And I think that's a lot to be. I really highly suspect, as many do, and we should thank God. It was James Woods the other night on Fox News called this out, qualifying it with the fact that he's not a medical doctor, nor are we, but it is worth noting that all too often you find these psychiatric drugs playing a factor in. I mean, look at the list of alleged, what is it, side effects. May cause suicidal ideation or even death. Something just ridiculous that goes to the total extreme. Same as what they dealt with the whole the COVID experimental, the kill shots, and maybe insane things like this. It's one of the reasons why we recently picked up that latest steroid off of via boob tube, and we can't live stream there. I compare them to cross between North Korea and China is how I explain it to my students. So I mean, I think that's just being honest, because they're in no way pro free speech at all, and clearly they're in bed with big pharma in the worst possible way. So, but more to the point, Christmas, people that are out on the streets, people that are down their luck, and the fact of, I think it's amazing the way that you can have total strangers reach out to you, people that you would have otherwise never met in your life, never crossed paths with. They just show up from out of the blue for some inexplicable reason. Although someone like Carl Jung might, and others, refer to as a form of synchro mysticism, something I think, Roger, you probably heard that term a time or two. Synchronicity, karma, obviously is another one. Clearly, that the word just meaning action, folks. It's not that complicated. Action, and that's what we're doing here. We're taking action, just even at small steps, baby steps, and what on the surface of things seem to be the most insignificant attempts in working to bring about a better world and making a positive change and impact in people's lives. But the ripple effect, and what it ultimately does, well, who knows. I think it's just a good feeling about things, and that we will, like they say, virtue is its own reward. There's something, what is it? Virtue is its own reward. Like things like patience. Patience is a virtue. Virtue is its own reward. There's many virtues you can talk about, of course, right? So diligence. Diligence is a virtue. Virtue, its own reward. So generosity is a virtue. Virtue, its own reward. In fact, in the Buddhist tradition, they talk about generosity, dana, as it's known, which, if you think about, is very similar to the word donation, or in Korea they call it donation. Don is money here in Korea. Don, old word, very old word. So dana, it's Sanskrit, as what they refer to it as, and that it's kind of like with the Muslims and so forth, and you got the Christian thing too, where it's like, hey kids, make good use of your time here, and if it's within your means and your wherewithal, I think is what Chris was kind of alluding to earlier. Because if people are down on their luck, they're homeless and they're totally up crap creek without a paddle, it does make it a little difficult, obviously. But that's a place where I was back in the day. I was homeless out in the streets of Vancouver for a couple of days. I think you guys might have heard about that or not. Let me see if I can get myself on camera here, if we get the camera up for a few minutes. And we are going to cut away here and then queue up a second, a brief segment of maybe about a half an hour or so is what we'll be looking at, and then returning tomorrow with show number 4. I have no idea who may or may not be joining us, but if everyone out there could do what they could in helping to spread the word, that would be most appreciated. We got Tracy Joy Steele and Kaiser Schuff, along with a number of others here once again that are in some ways champing at the bit. I'm trying to see where that bloody camera disappeared to here. Oh, geez, it fell down behind the computer. Can you believe it? So we've only got a few minutes here. What would you guys like to say just on the final note as we wrap up the first part of things here? We're not really going to cut away to a commercial break so much as a brief intermission, and kind of capping things off, and hopefully we can return for the final, like half hour approximate segment. Yeah. The way that we put this one to bed tonight. It's 1:45 in the morning here, South Korea time. I got the day off tomorrow, so we will be returning a little more than 12 hours from now, believe it or not, because in that way we'll be able to connect with an entirely different audience. We were hoping this go around we'd maybe be able to pick up a few people via Europe as far as the live streaming end of things is concerned, but who knows? Sometimes we get folks through D Live who are European based, but
So
it's a bit. Yeah, go ahead.
final thoughts.
Yep.
So you know how people have a great redemption in their church, and you'll see somebody turn their life around, and it happens like almost like in a blink of an eye.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
kind of.
Like you'll have somebody down and out
Yeah.
in the church, or maybe they weren't going to church, and then they just started going to church, and their life turns around.
Yeah.
Right?
Come to Jesus moment. That's right.
Yeah. So imagine if instead of just one person, it was all of us that had that come to Jesus moment, and or just a culture, So now you got a full culture that just turned their life around in a few months, maybe a year's time. Okay. Imagine what that would do to the world. So the more of us that take in that heart, first you got to think about it, conceptualize it, understand it, that it's the truth, that we're all connected. Then you internalize it in your heart and you start to believe it. Once you believe and know that you are connected to everything, you start to behave in that manner.
To what? To beehive?
Okay. Imagine what that would do to the world. So the more of us that take in that heart, first you got to think about it, conceptualize it, understand it, that it's the truth, that we're all connected. Then you internalize it in your heart and you start to believe it. Once you believe and know that you are connected to everything, you start to behave in that manner.
To what? To beehive? Oh, smart ass. Yeah, there we go with the teams crashing out on us. So that's all that we're gonna have from them as far as the first segment of things is concerned. This go around live streaming third night essentially here. Once again, early morning hours, South Korea time. Although we are living in the future, it's the 18th, so essentially not quite a day ahead, but a number of hours definitely ahead of the West, who I think, gosh, let's just do a quick calculation here. I don't know, it's about 8 o'clock out on the West Coast and maybe 11 a.m. on the East. I'm trying to do, quick, sussing things out, as it were, the world clock and the way it all shakes out, shakes down, plays out. So, all right. Well, let's see if we can get some surprise guests here on. It's possible, but some people just, I mean, if you can believe it, to me, it's a real surprise. Even less technically competent than I am, strangely. So, I just don't understand how that could possibly be the case, but it is for whatever reason. You know, yeah, I'm lame, pretty damn lame when it comes to the whole technology. I mean, I don't even own a spy phone, right? So let's see. I'm going to read Tracy's comment here. Tracy Joy Steele. It's not. I thought always thought for some reason her last name was Joy Steele, but it's Tracy Joy Steele, someone that we connected with and helped out a couple of years ago. Her and her sons, and it sounds like she's been really, flying into tiger mom mode. It's great, bouncing back in a big way. So I'll do it, mark it to do my best. Like I said, this year is supposed to be a good year for us. I'm not sure if she's talking tarot there or fortune telling or what exactly. Supposed to be a good year for us. And things would backfire, but I know there's a plan. God always has a plan, she says. But I feel when you're in your darkest, I hope she doesn't mind me reading this here. Presumably not, or I wouldn't be doing it. I could be wrong. Darkest, and you're struggling. Just feel that I guess I forgot that you were struggling with substance abuse issues. That's unfortunate. So many people falling victim, to that crap. My family, a lot of alcoholics in my family. That's one reason I largely abstain. Other than ironically the Christmas season, true to Viking form, you know, fashion and tradition. Just can't help myself. Good old don't have the eggnog whipped up yet, but these hot toddies, the hot rum toddies. I mean, just what better way than to get a bit of a glow on and help keep you warm throughout the cold winter months. Oh yeah, pretty good, quite delicious. I usually have maybe two of those a day. That's all there. So do whatever I can, putting it on my pages. Actually, just did my mom. Stepdad had a bunch of like vintage decorations. This man has a charity, and was able to get him a cheap price from my parents, so he's able to get these things. To a charity could mention it to him because he was asking me about you. Really? How about that? What I was involved in, doing a donation, the Winter Wonderland type of thing. Guess he does every year. I've just donated. Wow, this is a long message. They also need nutcrackers for a play they're doing. That's pretty cool. All right, I'd like to see. Great if we could get some pictures of this. They're doing the proceeds go to the recovery coaching in the drug epidemic here. Yeah. So of course I definitely wanted to see what I could do there, but yeah, to help out in any way. Well, that's great. Now I think we connected doing a voice chat doing a voice chat thing a couple of years ago. She seems to be having some issues as far as Teams is concerned. So we'll give it a shot here and see. Hopefully, this isn't too bothersome or annoying to her. But no, her channel is currently muted. Yeah, Tracy, you're muted out right now. Do you mind? Can we go live with a call? Are you busy or? Okay, hang on. Oh, okay, hang on. This is cool. Hang on. All right, so we are live here finally with Tracy just through Messenger. We don't use this too often with anybody, but because you were, I guess, having trouble with Teams, we decided to give this a shot. So it's great to see that it sounds like you're doing, tiger mom mode. How are your boys doing?
They're doing well. My middle child Augie, he's in a very great school. That is just it's really just changed the world for him. The little one is supposed to be starting his first year of schooling. As I told you, we had moved. Well, it's a little bit of a mess, but I don't want to enroll him where we used to live. It wouldn't be the best place for him. I want what's best for my children. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting a little bit to enroll him. So he will be in school soon, which will be great. You know, he needs it. And um, yeah, I'm just pushing along. And I noticed like I was all these positive things. First time car buy, it was used, but I'm like all excited. Then 3 days later it breaks down. But I was like, you know what? There's a plan in everything. I truly believe that.
Oh my God. So you bought a lemon.
I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did. And listen, you get what you pay for. I know better. Um, but I was like, oh, I'll get like 6 months out of it.
Yeah. What did it cost you? What did it set you back?
You guys are gonna laugh. Okay, so I only paid 900, so I get it. It was 12, and I was like, allegedly just a muffler problem. Sorry, I got the baby with me, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. There was a muffler problem, but there wasn't. There was a lot of problems. I was driving with the baby and the power steering, the column. So like they said, basically what it's going to cost to fix it, it'd be way more than what I paid, and I'm better off junking it.
Wow.
So I'm renting one right now, and I'm gonna junk it, but you can't junk it till I get the new title. So it's kind of like I'm still paying the car insurance on it. But you know what? It's life. It's life, just lifing.
Did you did you have it sold for parts or anything like that?
No, so I have a few friends that actually have car places, and then I have other friends that have car places, and um, you know, they've told me like they'd come get it. I wouldn't have to pay for a tow. And then yeah, what they do sometimes they fix them, but like this, I mean, this isn't really worth fixing. They say that they look for things like the catalytic converter, which I'm not a car person. I don't really know what that means, but yeah, they take parts out. So I would get a lot less, obviously, than what I paid for.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like your little one there. I'm not sure where you're currently located, like if you're driving at present or at home or on the fly, but your little guy seems a little impatient at the moment. So yeah. Uh I'm not sure if you want us to let you go, and maybe we can reconnect at some later point down the line. If you can call into Teams at some point, that would be great. It's a form of
Yes.
Skype.
I ended up getting a new cell phone, so that kind of messed up like a lot of like the things that I had. But and it's crazy. Like I said, as you were messaging and calling, I was actually creating a post, to promote, because I love what you guys do. I think it's amazing. And, I try, my best each year to get involved the best way I can. But I feel like I have a little bit more connections this year. I've talked to a little bit more people. So I'm definitely going to be supporting you guys and pushing you out there. And
That's so great. And there are, once again, we talk about a lot of moving parts to what we're
Yeah,
doing here. And you know that we do not solicit any direct donations whatsoever,
exactly.
right?
Yes, I always make sure that I add that stuff in there, and everything we've talked about before. I always make sure that that's a thing that and I let people know this is like, because I remember I think it was the first year, which was like, I think not last year, the year before, I got involved, and I decided, like, like, oh, I really want to like help. And, there was a few people on the side that were kind of like messaging me, and I have a heart. And then, you don't, I kind of got a little caught up, and I'm sending money and helping people. And then I was like, I think it was you though. You were like, listen, you've got to kind of step back. Like you kind of like showed me how to go about things like the proper way. I just wanted to like dive it right in, but I understand like how it works, and you guys make it very clear too, like on the website, and it's very, very, very detailed.
Mm-hmm. Hey, a couple things here. Let's see. Well, first of all, what's up with these pictures? That like is that an AI version of you? I don't understand what's going on. Are you just totally made up there, or?
Yeah. So yeah. So I as I told you, I started my own. Okay, baby, hold on. I started my own business, and I'd been working. I invested, my tax money, which wasn't a lot, but I got to start somewhere. And I am affiliated with a lot of different like mom groups, like moms that created their own apps and things like that. So some of those they have created. So I even have like a beacons where it's listed, and I offer actually like family portraits. Like I've actually done a few for some families, like because some people don't want to leave the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I just say I need a clear selfie. Of course, like I tell people, like like anything, like it's gonna look airbrushed, and but I'll always make it look, if the person wants, whatever details they want in it, I make it as as close as I can look like them. I'll keep doing it until I get it right. But yes, of course those are AI. Yes.
Oh wow, they are so cool. Like it's like I'm looking and thinking like, geez, like what's going on here? She got herself really but they're based on you, but then they kind of just they
Yes.
really just go for the best possible Tracy Joy Steele that they
Yeah.
can come up
Yeah.
with,
And
eh?
it's wild because you can actually like some of the programs that I have, you can actually like you can get very detailed, and you can tell them like, like you want a certain stance, you want to represent like something like, I want to be strong and resilient, represent my brand, and do things like that. And I've had some really beautiful results for some families I did. I just recently did one for a father and his son. He had a picture of his son when he was a baby. He wanted to recreate that, but like in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
And, at first I personally was like, oh, I feel like it needs more. And he just loved it. So,
Hmm.
a lot of people are getting into that lately, I'm noticing, and they're
Mm-hmm.
using it for their businesses. And like, it's, at first, I'm not going to lie, I was one of those people that was skeptical of AI, in the very
Mm-hmm.
beginning. I think we all were, a
Yeah.
little bit worried, but, I feel like if used properly and, with caution, it can definitely be something positive. Like a lot of people are monetizing off it and
Mm-hmm.
making money, like, and that's kind of what I teach moms to do too, is tell their story. You guys know my story, and my 9 years is the 23rd of this month. So, um,
Wow. Oh
I,
my God.
yes, it's crazy.
We've got a few
I can,
people here like similarly that like clean and sober, and they're quite really dedicated to staying that way, just following, I guess,
yeah,
the straight and narrow. So
I
hey, but
love, I love hearing that. Like
hmm
get a little emotional, because
yeah.
I think about 9 years ago, and
Oh
I
my
would have
God.
never.
You
So
were
that's why, like, when I'm struggling today with little problems, I say,
uh-huh.
Tracy Joy, look at yourself 9 years ago.
So
You know what I mean? Look where
yeah.
you are today.
So how bad did it get for you then? At, at, at
Oh,
Were you
and
homeless?
my back. Oh my God, yes, I had been homeless, and I even had gotten, I had my bouts of sobriety. I don't call it really recovery because I don't believe that it was. Um, I ended up getting like clean, but then because of like lack and trust in family, I was walking. I had my middle child, and we were homeless, but I was running from an abuser. So it was, but I put myself in those positions. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have gotten abused, but I put myself in those positions.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like your boys are going at
But
it.
yeah, it got really bad. Yeah, it's my little one. Let me tell you, my
Oh,
little one, and he's like my little like everyone looks at him and they think he looks like this. He does. He's so angelic looking,
yeah.
but he is my tough one. He's put me through it lately. He definitely is. He's cute as can be, but
Is it
he's my tough one.
is it
But they were
three
keeping clean and
boys?
sober.
Is it three or
Huh?
two or three?
This one, Jagger just turned 6.
No, but you
Both
have
my boys.
you have 2 or 3 boys.
I have 3. Yeah,
Okay,
my oldest
right.
is 16, but he lives with his dad in a different town, and he's doing really well too. I can't even believe I have a
Mhm.
teenager, but what's wild is that addiction is something that you know I talk to my two oldest, but because it runs in your family,
Yeah,
no matter what,
that's
people's
right.
places and things, and it's my father was an alcoholic, not one that drank in the home, but he
Right.
still was in his whole family line, and um, I don't mind sharing this because my son actually speaks upon it. My oldest, my teenager, who I'd never think he's a straight A student, but peer pressure, and somebody found just random pills, and he decided to take them with his friends, and he overdosed, and he didn't even know what he was taking. And that's what scares
Jeez.
me today. These kids are getting younger and younger.
Oh,
And we kept saying to him,
man.
like,
Oh,
why did you do
jeez.
that? And he was crying. He said, I don't know. Like the kids were telling me to take it.
Oh my
And it was like a
God.
blood pressure medicine or something, but thank God he was okay.
Yeah.
But it's something, and I always ask him, he's like, I want you to tell my story because I want these kids, and that's why I love. He's very, he loves to just speak upon things, and he talked about it even in his school. They let him, and he just said, listen, this is like, this is a serious thing, and people lose their lives, and it can be very dangerous, and and it was really sad because it ended. This was last year around Christmas time, actually, and it, broke my heart for him, but he was very open and honest about it, and and that's what I do with my boys. I keep a very open dialogue with them because I feel like at least in my generation, everything was like, don't talk about anything, like hush hush. We don't want the neighbors to know, type of thing, and
Mhm.
I want my boys to know that they can come to me with anything, even if they make a mistake, and we can figure it out together.
That's what parents are supposed to be there for, to some extent, at least. Obviously, that's right. Yeah. So, but there's
Like,
the whole thing that tough love as compared to
right.
so
And I do, and there is a part of me that does believe in, an age range. Like I think when I was in my addiction, I needed a little bit of tough love, right? I think you have to hit in a bottom, but I always tell people, because I was doing a little recovery coaching as well. I say there's always another bottom. There can always be another bottom, so we have to
yeah,
be careful.
that's right.
And because I've had that was my bottom.
I'm sorry, it's something you must have pressed a button. The audio quality is speaking of bottoms, just it's bottomed out, and it's kind of crapped the bed, the audio quality via your end. You want to try that again on the phone, see what's happening there? Go ahead, Tracy Joy. Or did we lose her perhaps? That's maybe one of the kids was hot on the button there. Who knows? Let's check this out. Mm, go ahead. We still got her. We can't. No, we can't hear her. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. And if she's interested, she can, check out the playback after the fact. Maybe we'll send her a copy of the link, obviously, and she can hear what exactly was going on here. So, let's see if we can just a brief, final segment here once again that we can either reconnect with or interest in join us here. Show segment number 3 of this year's Operation Secret Santa 2025 charity outreach, relief, and consciousness raising campaign, a telethon-styled type format that runs a course of approximately 10 days is what we're looking at here. We try to shoot for about 10 days each and every year. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge. It doesn't always work out that way, but 10 days nonetheless is our goal. Mostly taking on the role of keepers of the flame, John Galt. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Censorship Socks?
Doing good. How are you doing?
All right. I'm glad you answered the call, or was it a mistake?
No, I saw you called earlier, but I was asleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you ducked
It's
the. Go ahead.
yeah, it's only like what is it, 9 o'clock here?
Yeah. So it's day number 3 of the telethon event here, and I guess you missed the first part. We had Do Better on. I'm not sure if you know who Do Better is. Chris out of
Oh
Atlanta,
yeah.
and Roger Hansen, both of
Oh
whom
cool.
I guess are not currently available. They were here for the first hour. So, but this is going to be a short segment here, maybe about half an hour tops. We're just talking to Tracy Joy Steele as well. Her home state, oh gosh, she's got like a Massachusetts type accent. It's kind of cute the way it's with the the way it comes across. Uh, but we connected with her years ago, and she's got 3 boys now, and doing a really great job with yeah, working with AI actually in putting. You should see some of the photos that she's produced. And I was looking at them thinking, is that her? Is that you? Or geez, you're looking like really good these days. And like, not that she wasn't already, but uh, she was kind of filling us in on how it sounds like how I'm not sure if that's through Chat GPT or what the deal is. You enter prompts or commands and kind of shift and shape things in the way that you want to produce a predetermined kind of you know
hmm
product, obviously. So, but she's I'm not sure if you've ever struggled with substance abuse or not. She's 9 years now, clean and sober, from what she tells us, which is really great. And she feels really inspired by our campaign here, which to uh, to us, and we did reach out. We helped her out a couple of years ago, just a small donation, and we pledged support for her and her kids, obviously, and her family. And there were a few others that came to her aid, rallied around, in support of her, and it was great, and that's what we took on the roles of kind of Secret Santa, but it's kind of hard sometimes to be totally secret, obviously, when you've got no other choice but to be on the mic. So, but yeah, how are
Yeah,
things?
when you're blasting it,
What's
when you're
that?
blasting out a podcast, yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? What can you do? So but it is what it is. And generally, when I'm engaged in any other kind of like charity or donations, I that's the way I like to do it for sure. Just quietly and go about doing it, not expecting anything in return, and just kind of
hmm
slip back on into the shadows and disappear. Uh, It's like then leave people wondering like what happened there, like who was that, how did that even come about? But it leaves them with a good feeling, obviously. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, how are you? What's the latest? How's your Christmas shaping up? What more do you have to bring to the table here tonight?
Fine. I'm doing good. I'm just gearing up to start a new project and work, and all that kind of good stuff.
What kind of
Just
project are we talking exactly?
I don't want to get too much into it.
Oh, I see.
You know, I try to keep my personal life personal.
It's not a business project, it's a personal project.
Well, it's work related, but it's personal.
Like what kind of work, or what kind of line of work, like what's your profession?
Web development.
Okay, and there's a project you're working on in that area that you just like to, you're not really wanting to
Yeah,
talk about too much at this particular time.
yeah, exactly. I
Oh,
mean,
okay. Well, best of luck.
I've
Well,
got
maybe.
I've got NDAs and whatnot I'm under, and
Oh wow,
all that
jeez.
good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, it's common.
I
Everybody
could
wants to
kind of,
throw an NDA nowadays.
I could, I could sort of guess and imagine what that is. Actually, I'm not going to say anything. I mean, nobody's said anything to me directly, but I think there's enough people in our general orbit and vicinity I can suss out. I might be wrong, but I'll talk to you off the air at some point, or
Yeah, exactly.
what's going on there. So, but minds.com or not. So, but I will leave it at that. But yeah, talk to us a little bit about I don't know if you don't mind Christmas and what it's meant to you throughout the years, your family traditions, and what's now Phoenix. You're I'm sorry, not Phoenix, Arizona. How far from Phoenix are you?
Not too far. Few hours.
Okay, all right. And then what can you tell us about what's taking place then? Because you haven't really told us what community in particular is that you're based out of. I'm not sure if you're prepared to do that at any point or not. But what do you see taking place there at the ground level as far as community Christmas events?
Oh, I don't know. They do a lot of drop boxes everywhere
Right.
where people can throw canned goods or whatever toys into these little boxes, and then they go and collect them all and hand them out.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Um, One of the things, there's a bunch of churches around here. I'm not really affiliated with any of them,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a community out here.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, it's excellent. One of the stories, hopefully people don't get too tired of me repeating it, but speaking of churches, some of the adult students that I work with here, there's in Korea, the ladies were telling me just the other day, there's 100 kilos of rice that they've divided. They're going to be
Hmm.
offering to 5 different families, and
Hmm.
that's kind of the deal basically. And then like, okay, Christmas. Hashtag WWJD. What would Jesus do? In our case, it's that's fine. But also hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? And we kind of were referencing or alluding to how he's more like the green kind of pagan man, which
Hmm.
goes way back into the ancient times, obviously. That whole business, even preceding, by far preceding uh, modern day Christianity. So, uh, but yeah, the story of Saint Nicholas, obviously, and just working to reach out to the poor in some way, some form or fashion, some manner, some degree. People's lives, yeah, because they get just so damn destitute at times. Karl Marx, his response to the whole business, let them die. Let them die. That way, the conditions will get so bad that we can hasten this bring about the social revolution or political revolution, uh, revolution of the proletariat that we're aiming for, kind of deal. So just kick them to the curb, ignore them. Even just forget about them, ignore them, let them die. Be satanic, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't know, man. And that's one of the reasons, like, we've challenged the Satanists and we haven't heard it. It's crickets. It's like, so because I can see, like, in there, I think, maybe I'm wrong, and that's, they can clarify, they feel free to join us on air and clarify. But it's a similar type deal where it's like, if they're too incapable and weak and being able to care for themselves and or their families or what have you, then to hell with them. What do we care? Let them die. It's the weak need to die. So, but there's also other ways of looking at things. So, it's like it's the story of the story of the lion and the little mouse. Are you familiar with that? The little mouse, like where
Oh, vaguely.
let's see how that works again now. Oh, I know. It was the little mouse was caught one day by the lion, and he's begging for his life, saying, "Please, Mister All Powerful King of the Jungle, Lion, let me go, and I promise one day I will help you." And the lion looked at him, just started bursting out laughing, like, it's like, "Are you kidding me? Like you're just a little mouse. You have no. What do you have that I need? Nothing whatsoever." So he thought the whole thing was so ridiculous. He just laughed and he's like, "All right." And they kind of threw him to the side, let him go. It's like, "Get lost," instead of eating him. And lo and
Uh-huh.
behold, it wasn't too much longer after that, in a very short period of time, that the lion found himself caught in a hunter's net. He fell into a trap and was taken up in this hunter's net. And there were no hunters around at the time. It was just a trap that was set that they were going to check back on at some later point. But so the lion started crying, like calling out and howling and yowling, and the mouse heard this. He didn't know what it was at first, but went and checked on it, and there was a lion. So looked at him and hopped up and got to work chewing away at the rope, at
Hmm.
the net, and eventually to the point where he was able to free the lion. So it's one of those things that, just as an analogy, I guess, goes to show that even sometimes just what you think the weakest, smallest, little insignificant things or creatures, you would never consider being able to help or assist you, actually, sometimes
Save your life.
they can do exactly that. What's that?
They can save your life sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you just never know, do you? And
Mhm.
that's right. So just think of the tragedy, the way that so people have been wasted, or they've ignored, been ignored over the years, or done away with, when they could have done exactly that. That's some real Shakespearean material there, tragedy,
Yeah.
as far as I'm circumcised. So yeah, there we go. Uh
As far as you're circumcised.
that's one of my little taglines. My catchphrase taglines. Thanks, Dad. So yeah, those stupid dad jokes. And he's not even Jewish either. Not technically, but I guess, well, once you're circumcised, what can you do about it, right? So, but I'm not sure if you see this or not. Matt Imber over
See
on
what?
well on Facebook. Well, I guess you don't. So let's see if we can pull this out. Chat settings and bed chat. Is that going to work? Come on now, pop out for us if you would. No, that's not going to work. Screw that. So this is too much technical nonsense. I just get tired of all the crap you have to deal with I guess to up your game, what have you. I wish we had a technical producer. I'm not sure if you're much of a hot shot in that area, if you know who's really
Hmm.
quite capable, but that's definitely what we need. So, um, but we can do. I'll tell you what we'll do here. We'll just do it. Just the poor man's approach, cheap way of doing things. Uh, bloody hell, what is it? So Matt Imber, just a repeat from what we laid out there. And we've lost the feed here on Facebook too. Like, don't ask me what's going on. It's really weird. Like we're getting shut down constantly. I hate to sound like a broken record, but we're still good with D Live. And let's see where else. Telegram, Home Network .tv. Thank you, Alan. Tankman Fredrickson out of Fort Collins, Colorado, for syndicating the show via that network and platform rather. And I think, and what he does there, he takes our stream and hands it over to, sends it on over and down the line to all various sorts of different audiences. Chicago is one of the places that he's talked about in the past, so that's pretty cool. Not sure who tunes in exactly. It'd be great to hear back from them a little more. pirate1radio@protonmail.com is our email address. pirate1radio@protonmail.com. When can people catch your show, Censorship Sucks? What sort of times are we looking at there? But actually, before we get to that, let me just finish this point as far as bloody hell. I jumped.
Sure.
I'm terrible with this sort of thing. Is this, no, that's not what we're looking for either. By God. Was it this? Yeah, here we go. No, over here. Okay. Matt Imber, I offer a solution of sorts to my 42-minute PowerPoint I made about a year ago regarding the 9/11 truth movement. Jump to the end for this solution of mine. So there's the link there. And actually, what I can do is we'll copy and paste that over in the Beam stream. Now we're having trouble with Beam stream. This is bizarre because
Really?
yeah, well, no, we're back, but we're not. It shows us it's still being live and streaming out, but it's kind of struggling to maintain itself. I'm wondering, could it be I don't know if it's our computer here or not. It's just happening too consistently for that to be the case. Really, it's really quite peculiar. Anyways, we're good to go there on Beamstream. You thanks to Mark, by the way. The CEO. He's saying actually Roger Hanson saying that he heard
Um,
for helping
Tracy Joy Steele. It sounds like she's doing better. Yes, indeed. Now I'm not sure, Roger, if he's green and good to go is what we're seeing here. So why he's not able to connect with us, I'm not sure. Maybe
it looks like he's in the room.
there you are. There you are. Okay. All right. Good stuff there, Roger. And you guys know each other, I'm pretty sure. Do you not? Do you go back a ways?
Yeah.
Okay.
John, I've been.
How's it going, Roger?
Hey, John. It's good seeing you. Censorship sucks. I'm sorry. I can't be giving the alibi.
Mr. Sucks.
That's right.
Or Mr. Censorship. Either way, it's like, but censorship sucks. I do like the handle. I just like, I'm sorry. I'm an incurable kidder. And John, if you care to take the piss, what do you say? What do the Brits say? Take the piss out of me, or take,
Yeah, that's about right.
Then fly at it, like bust my balls. It's
Sure.
as long as it's done. Like Roger's good at that. Occasionally he'll come at me with some pretty goofy stuff, and I'll just, it depending on how what he says, and
he doesn't like smart stuff. He doesn't like smart
Who,
stuff.
Me?
Yes. You can talk about Buddha. That's cool, but don't get all smart and stuff. You start getting
like what?
Just
what do you mean smart? Like smart ass or what?
Just like smart stuff. You get all
do you know
upset.
why? Like what? Well, give us an example.
I don't know. I learned my lesson a couple times on that. I don't give examples to you anymore.
Why is that? Yeah, so you say something and then you back down, kind of like duck and cover from what you're just
launched the grenade out there. He's like, I'm out of here. Okay, deal with it. Bye. Yeah. All right. Oh, look, guys, we only got a few more minutes here, and we're gonna be back in. And whether you care to join us or not, it's up to you. It's a little under 12 hours now, 11 and a half, just the way things are going to be because of my work schedule. And I'm thinking that go at it and hit, fly back into it tomorrow at 1 p.m. here via South Korea time. That'll be, of course, as usual, 8 out on the West Coast, 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. On the East. So we're kind of shaking things up a little bit, shifting things around as far as the starting time goes once again. But because of the new work schedule, it's just the way that the approach that we're going to take, and it'll give us a little bit of breathing room. Today, I came home from work like during lunch break, and I had to get to work with pre-production and getting everything laid out and set up. You guys know how it works, and just so that we can try to go through the routine and working to try to reach our audience. And as modest as it is in its entirety, whether that's good or bad, I'm not sure which, but yeah.
Once you get a producer, you never go back.
Oh, like a technical producer?
Like Mark. I mean, I've got Mark, so I don't have to worry about like any of that stuff. It's wonderful. I just show up, do the show, and
right, yeah.
He handles it all, the rebroadcast, the post-production, everything.
Yeah, well, I tell you.
I used to do these interviews with people. That's where I kind of started out. I would do, had a series called Interviews on Minds, where I just would find popular channels on Minds and do like a 45-minute interview with them.
Right.
And I didn't edit it. I didn't do any of that stuff. It just, as it happened, I laid it out. And, I would still want to go through and maybe get rid of some ums and, background noise and whatnot. And it still would take like, you record for 45 minutes and you got like an hour and a half of post. Yeah.
We did that. We did that for
and
several years, that ums and ahs and the things where it's like that's no good. We got to get rid of that. And it just got to the point where it's just to hell with it. We'll do it live.
It's easier just to not say than it is to go and edit them all out.
Yeah, if you can just remember that's right. Just remember not to say and or friggin' so much, right, Roger?
Friggin'. Yeah, Roger.
That's his favorite. Yeah. So Christmas, guys. No Sonia Galactic on board with us here tonight, but
she was on last
she's busy.
night. She was on last
she
night.
was. No, she wasn't.
Me and Mark and Sonia took over your team's thing and did a call together. Just hung out, and we had a great time.
Did you rebroadcast or restream?
No, that's just us. We just used your team's thing to do a call and hung out. Just had a good time.
Here in this room.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Like, were you live or just chilling behind the scenes?
Just chilling behind the scenes, hanging out.
Right.
Having a good
okay.
time. I do want to say one thing. Don't let Mark tell you jokes. Okay?
Yeah. Why?
Bad. He's horrible at jokes.
You think so?
The worst.
I thought I was the worst.
No, but he's worse than you. Believe it or not, he is horrible.
Yeah.
He like
yeah.
He can't even tell jokes on John's channel, dude. It's that bad.
Are we talking knock jokes or what exactly?
Like dad jokes gone bad.
Anything, yeah. He'll like breaking over Willie to tell a joke, and it's like, it's not even funny, dude. Like, why are you interrupting him to say something that's not funny?
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, whose show is it? Is it his Mark's show or somebody else's?
It's John's.
Oh, it's John. So
My
John,
show,
he'll interrupt John to tell some joke that totally bombs, and that's
or Willie or whatever. He does it mid-sentence all the time.
You mean like dick jokes?
No,
no. Like mid.
Why are you saying? Well, you said. Why are you saying Willie?
Willie Lee. He's one of my co-hosts.
You've never heard
Oh,
of Willie Lee?
is Willie? Well, Willie's a dick. Of course, I've heard of Willie.
Willie
Willie's a dick.
he's got a
Willie's
worm
hysterical.
farm. He's got a worm farm, okay, and he sells chamberware.
Well, let's hope at least he doesn't have brain rot.
He's
He might
also
have
selling
worms, but not brain rot.
he's also selling pea jugs on eBay, and you can find him at his website, which is actually his email address. He's just too dumb to
Actually, you
realize.
know what? I think I know. I might know. Yeah, what's his full handle?
Willie Lee.
Willie Levy, 1971 on mine.
Yeah, okay. I might have seen him around. We'll have to double check on that. But
He's hysterical, man. He's
He
really
is.
funny.
okay. All right. Good. Vinny from Brooklyn, I think, is probably the funniest. Who would you say, Roger, the funniest person that we've had on here on a semi-routine basis, besides you, of course?
Well, me, of course. I
Oh,
mean,
got to have you right at the top of the list. That's right.
well, no, I don't know. You don't have.
No, Vinny from Brooklyn.
Oh, Vinny, yeah, I
Now,
know.
why you? And there's a bit of static that your signal is usually not as. You got some. Is that your maybe your mom wanting to get in the action here or something? That'll
No.
kind of soft sort of. You'll hear it in a playback, electrical interference. By the way, speaking of which, when I was back in Canada, like I've seen. Yeah, might want to mute out when you're not talking. I think that was your line, your channel, your end of things. So when I was back in Canada, I was sleeping in my upstairs in my sister and brother-in-law's house, and it was like I woke up and there was this weird kind of. It was just for a few moments, and I'm not sure what, if it's a projection. I was projecting something mentally in my mind. This happens on a rare occasion. Even in Korea here, it'll occur. I've seen like these spectral energies, but they energies. Yeah, there's certain energies that manifest, but also human type forms as well, small, not like grays or anything like that, but just for a few seconds, I'll come out of I'll be sleeping and wake up and be instantly like drawn to where it is that they're standing, and like these like little people basically. And when I was in Canada, I mean, yeah, you got just have this thing of seeing. I guess you could just call them ghosts of some sort or spectral mental projections, and then they just kind of just disappear. But I don't know. I think it was my mom because she just recently had transitioned, like in January. I was there in July. We spoke on the phone in December, and she passed away just a couple like weeks after Christmas. We talked at Christmas last year. And so, and I did the whole thing praying for her. I want to talk to you about that offline, Roger, and send you this. It's been on my mind a lot. I just haven't got around to it. Maybe I can do it like when we wrap up here quickly, just grab the link off of YouTube. And do you have the link to the music thing? It's called Mum Stuff. And it's a bunch of music. Did I sent you the link, right? Did you get that?
I don't know if you did or not, but
Oh, yeah, I thought I did. It's like I said, hey man, this is for you. Check it out.
yeah, actually,
Anyways.
yeah, I did. I was like freaking.
You remember that now?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
listen to the music?
I listened to some of it. It was a pretty
Yeah.
rough time for me though. I
Oh,
like
yeah, sure.
and
sure.
then like you just saying that's kind of weird too, because I didn't tell you on your channel, but there's been some weird shit happening around here. Like after my mom passed away, maybe a week after.
The fire?
Yeah, so you did know about it.
You talked about, yeah, that was weird. Definitely strange.
Freaking blew up.
But there's something more, maybe, I think, that you're not telling us too, isn't there?
No.
There's got to be. No,
The
that's it.
the only thing that happened was we charged the battery
What
up
about
because it
the
went.
house energy though? She was there. Did she?
Yeah.
She didn't pass away. She lived in the house.
Yeah.
Is that her house or that's your house, right?
Yep. Mine.
So you brought her in from, like, did she sell her house to come live with you, sort of deal? Is that right? Or,
Yeah.
it's kind of okay. So, but okay. So do you feel her energy around still, that
Well,
your place there at all, or?
when you go through mourning, though, you go through those kind of things. Like you hear like voices that you're accustomed to, and like with the elderly people, they have a habit of like knocking on the walls and stuff to get your
Really?
attention and things like that. So like, you hear that.
Really?
You kind of
Wait a minute. But have other people heard that with you, or just you on your own?
well, just me on my own, but other
Okay,
people
so the
like
mind may be playing
yeah.
tricks.
So it's kind of tricky when it comes to all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking. Same thing with me. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Just yeah, I broke down when, I don't know, like we got the news with her and having collapsed, and thankfully my sister, I think, was already en route to see her because she said she was having some problems, and she collapsed, and the kind of it was a certain not it was like a assisted living type
Yeah.
environment or housing.
Mhm.
And so she was being helped out. Had COPD. She had, oxygen tank. Just we talked to her for years, like, Mom, hey, don't smoke, come on, hey. So that's why I quit, and I was just talking to the wife about this tonight. What what do you want? A slow suicide, or maybe spend a few more, hopefully happy-ish years with the wife and 3 cats, right? Quality living as best you can manage. And uh but so more to the point with her though, and then my sister showed up and she'd already collapsed, and I'm not sure if she was like semi-conscious or what the deal was. She wasn't technically dead at that point. She was whisked her away to the hospital. This is all within the course of about like an hour of my sister, I think, talking to her on the phone, and showing up. It's like, Jesus, she's falling down here, and nobody like at the assisted living place had picked up on this. But then they was taken to the hospital, and she died shortly thereafter. So there's worse ways to go than that. That it wasn't such a bad way to go, all things considered. And I'll tell you what, when we did talk on the phone, she often, she told me about how much she was suffering constantly, and just the pain she was in, and things like back problems, and her just age was because catching up to her. As we age, our bodies, if we don't take care of ourselves, especially, they tend to kind of, things tend to go downhill, right? I can feel that happening in here on my end already, and trying to do what I can to, self-medicate with vitamins and supplements and all that kind of good stuff, dealing with arthritis and you name it. I even have, well, I'm not sure, some kind of heart issue, which may be related to arteriosclerosis, I think is what it's known, like a hardening of the arteries, perhaps. I did smoke for better part of 25 years, maybe about a pack a day. But then, yeah, like I said, I just finally said, to hell with it. I'm choosing life with the wife and kitties here over the slow suicide route. So, okay, guys, Christmas, how we can contact you, where people can check out your shows. What are you doing this year to kind of, I mean, or maybe you don't want to talk about it. Maybe we should discuss it behind the scenes in, true Secret Santa form. I mean, you're here with us now, so that's you're lending your support to the show and to the campaign. So that's check mark, obviously. great. You couldn't have done a greater thing, frankly, for I would say the world, actually. Just in it. And I'll tell you what, it's got me. I got to make a note of this. I got to write it down. Have you heard of the widow's mite out of the Bible? The widow's mite. Do you know about that?
I don't.
You know that story?
Did it last year, but I forgot it.
Oh, you're from last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and mite is like an old ancient kind of currency. You think like it's spelled MITE, but maybe there's a relationship between that and strength, mighty, Mighty Mouse. But so she didn't have. There's all these rich people giving like donations and helping out in a big way. It's just like, oh, that's wonderful and great, and just couldn't say enough good things about it. But then, and I'm not sure if it was with Christ or it might have been with Christ. How the story goes, and that the widow who had such very little, she just donated what she had, and it was like just like wow, it's like this is incredible that you don't have anything, but you're still giving something. So, and there was the response to that was that in the eyes of God, as it were, because she'd done it in the purest sense, not like expecting anything in return, as compared to maybe the big shots and high rollers that were in it for something more than just giving and letting it. That's as far as it goes, right? It's served its purpose in helping people, and hopefully it goes to service the people and to the ends that it was intended. But this is a story, though, that parallels between the story of Christ and the Buddha and the analogies and parables and so forth. There's so many, like the prodigal son. I do believe that's one. The widow's mite, that's another one. If you start looking into it, it's like, wait a minute, where are they getting these stories from? And so it's interesting, like, and Christ coming after, obviously, but it kind of falls into line with how people have talked about the religious syncretism or the eclectic nature, and just the way the Catholic Church has operated down through the years, that they draw upon all various traditions and influences to kind of to purpose and to once again to bring about the whatever it takes to get the job done, basically, and converting others to Catholicism. And that's, I would argue, like, for example, when the settlement of the New World and foreign overseas nations, typically sending the Jesuits in first, is what it seems, that rather than going in and wiping them all out, usually like, total ethnic cleansing, is like working on promoting the whole religious syncretic approach and matching established like local pagan deities and traditions with what the Catholic Church can live with. Like the the Virgin of Guadalupe is the one classic example down in I guess South America. I don't know where that is, Mexico or something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, we can work with that. We don't have to burn it all down or wipe it all out. We can live with this, just as long as you convert and pay your tithes, right, and donate to the church. That's that's all that's really required. Yeah, you'll be guaranteed a great place in heaven, that being the case. So, but the pirates might, yeah. So we're small, we're independent, we're underground, internet ghetto. Here's the thing, Roger, though, like everyone and yourself as well, John, like if you go back and check out some of our archives, and I would suggest, if you do so, just like set the playback speed on, like basically
Relax.
speed it up a little bit or jump forward. It's like, oh, that's getting pretty boring. Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, you know. So, but then and this kind of try to pick up.
I kind of like that though, going over old footage, because I did that with Mark, and like Mark's all big talking about all the shit he's done, and then I went into his archive and listened to the first ones, and like there's parakeets going off in the background and all this noise, and he's just chucking away at it. You know what I mean? He's getting it done, and I love that because like when I go
Yeah.
and I listen to my old stuff and I hear all the mistakes I made, dude, I love it because that shows me like that's
Yeah.
where you are and this is where you are now, you know.
Right.
I had
Yeah,
a
your
client a
voice.
while back who wanted to set up a YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just couldn't pull the trigger on the first video. He had such a high level of expectation for the quality he wanted to put out.
Huh.
And I finally sat him down one day and I showed him PewDiePie's very first ever video, right? I'm like, this guy has 120 million. He's the biggest podcaster in the world. And this is his first video, right? And he watched it and he's like, really? Like, it was such trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was him at like 16 sitting in his bedroom just talking into a camera that's pointed at the ceiling.
Having fun, you know.
But it works, you know, you got to get it out. And people like that raw footage, you know, they like to see the raw stuff because it makes you real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got to find our voice too, I would argue. Each of us, you know, like that's one of the
Mhm.
reasons I'm here, among others. But in doing so, working to really find that voice, to thyself be true. Is that how you put it earlier, Roger?
To thy own self be true.
Is that, and that's like the parallel with like authenticity, correct? Isn't that what it's talking about or referencing? Be real.
Yeah, be true to yourself, okay? No matter what people tell you, no matter what you tell yourself, be honest with yourself and
Right.
don't feed into the lie, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, I mean, when I was talking about that stuff earlier, I wasn't trying to make it out like freaking helping other people is a bad thing, because in the end, helping other people is the only way you help yourself. You know what I mean? That's the truest form of being free. Is you got to learn how to give. You got to learn to help others in order to help yourself.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, we're going to unleash the treasure chest here, folks. So if you're on D Live, which currently we do have a handful of folks actually, that numbers are up and down, back and forth, but run on over to the channel if you're hearing this now. Of course, check out the D Live .tv/WPRPN URL. And Roger, I think in fact you've got an account over there, don't you? So you hurry and hustle on over, get logged in. You'll be able to qualify for what we're going to do here, hopefully momentarily, with this treasure chest. Now, this is distribution of rewards. According to what Reverend Jim, he reminded us that would be something worth doing. Now, you just donated what the hell was it? Oh, a little star. Thank you. 20 seconds, folks, is what we got here before the rewards are distributed. Rogers, he's hot on the button there tonight. Looks like he might have it in the bag here. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, let's
Never win nothing, man, nothing.
let's see. There's nobody else. Oh, we're up to 7 people all of a sudden. There you, holy Jesus Christ.
That's
Did
horrible.
you just you just want, yeah, you never win nothing. Do you know how many diamonds you just picked up?
263.10. I'm going.
Holy.
I'm rich. I'm going to Mount Fuji, baby. I'm going to Mount Fuji.
You're styling. You're living the high life in the town tonight. Yeah. Now, well, actually, you know what? If it was us, it's the Christmas campaign. So maybe, consider it half of that for, donating back to, holy geez, we're up to 10 people now. Can we unleash that treasure chest again here, or how long do we have to wait for it manages to refurbish and do its thing? Almost 10 folks suddenly. You start mentioning treasure chests and generated huge interest. People want to suddenly check out what you're all about. So, hey, and we just got, it came back to us like in a true karmic kind of boomerang fashion. Paper crane, which is the equivalent. Oh, hang on. That's like 50 diamonds. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Now a lemon is the equivalent to a diamond? Are you kidding me? Seriously? Come on. Oh, well, geez. That's some serious devaluation. That's what they've undergone there. Some major, huge devaluation with their digital currency, because come on, diamonds were like 100 lemons back in the day, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the mines token, for crying out loud, so that's just the way it goes sometimes. But it's a good indicator what we're up against, frankly, so.
Well, the good thing about that is like you'll never figure out how to cash them in.
Yeah, cashing the diamonds.
Yeah, like I still don't know how to cash those in, and like on Odyssey, all that currency they have on there, I still to this day don't know how you're supposed to cash that stuff in.
It's your bank account. They want you to register your bank account with them, so they tell us that they can then transform them into dollars.
Well, this is a Christmas special. I don't want to talk ill of the French.
What do the French have to do? Are you talking dollars or diamonds?
Odyssey
French.
is French. They're French people.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'm upset with them about the horse meat.
Sacre bleu.
They need to stop eating horses.
And frogs' legs.
I'm okay with the frog legs. Just leave the horses alone.
It's okay that the president's married to a man.
Well,
that doesn't really faze you.
Well, I mean, your prime minister, kind of looked like Castro for a while. So
Macron.
Yeah. Well, no, the other one, the one that you always call Castro Jr. Trudeau.
Well, Trudeau was like, he looks so much more like Fidel Castro than Pierre Elliott Trudeau, of whom, guess what? It's now, I've heard again recently, there's some high profile people coming forward saying, like, you can see it on YouTube, and keep an eye on YouTube. You can even just type in, I suppose, Trudeau pedophile. It'll come up. This was out of Brussels, Belgium, Brussels, and they would sacrifice children. Yay. I mean, they just can't help themselves, can they? David Rockefeller, Pierre Trudeau. I think she talked about maybe Henry Kissinger, all the usual suspects. Most of them, they're gone now, of course, but they've been replaced by, similar, it's like birds of a feather. And how does that expression go? That the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, kind of deal. So, and the way that these people are conditioned, it's part of their social, the grooming, I guess, really rites of passage, and what they're made to endure. But yeah, we're getting a little bit off track here, as it is, unfortunately, trying to keep the focus on Christmas. But
I'm sorry about that. Just French people.
Yeah, got me distracted.
Those darn Frenchies.
I don't have any problem with the French. In fact, you know what? I like it. If more French people were like our good friend here and amigo and ami en français, bon ami Christian Laterre, I think the world would probably be a lot better place. And he himself, someone who was made to endure a lot because of his his part in the whole, Montauk Camp Hero MK Ultra experimentation program as a youth. He was recruited, and they put him through the ringer to the took him to the extreme limits of what humans are able to withstand, waterboarding and you name it. So a lot of young people did not make it, is what he claimed as well. So, but we'll leave it at that once again. If people, just that he's, it's great that he's still alive, obviously, and what more can you say? But hope his Christmas is a happy one, and everyone right across the world, it's a time of joy and celebration. Unfortunately, there are those out there who would rather that it not be. And we're talking not just people who are Grinches necessarily, but more just quite thoroughly diabolical, and I reluctant to use the term like demonically possessed, because the way I look at it, frankly, the way I understand it, we all are, and it's not a bad thing. It's just what we are as humans. We have a spiritual nature and essence, more or less. The classic Greek term, Koine Greek, is for happiness, was eudaimonia. Alexander the Great knew this. People the likes of Aristotle and Socrates, and presumably even Christ himself, and many even after that time, because Koine Greek, I guess it was the vernacular. You know this, Roger. I'm not sure if John does, if he's up to speed on this, but it was the vernacular of that axial age era, from like 0 BC to a few hundred years prior to a few hundred years after Christ. That axial age, Koine Greek, and the region of Phoenicia and Lebanon and Near East Asia, and the traders of the Mediterranean. And when I say traders, I don't mean those who committed treason. Some might. I mean, depends how you look at it. What sort of activities these traders really get up to. What's that, Roger?
Josephus is a good example of that. That's the reason why I'm real cautious about Christian literature, because like a lot of people don't realize it was taken from Josephus.
Oh, Josephus. And who is he?
He actually betrayed the Jews for the Romans during the war. And then
the Antiquities? Did he not write the Antiquities?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying you got to be careful about the literature, because a lot of and like the good Damon was actually taken from Phoenicians.
The good demon within, the eudaimonia, the happy, meaning happiness.
Cupid.
Wow, Cupid, schmoopid. Come on, what are you getting at there?
What do you think Cupid is? Cupid is the representation of the good Damon.
It's, well, I guess Eros. Well, and you look at the term Eros as well. Like there's Cupid, and isn't it Eros is the Roman? Mm-hmm. Cupid is the Greek, or do I have those backwards? Cupid is the Roman.
It's Cupid probably right. Because
anyways, air and
Eros
arrow.
But
to err, like error, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like arrow and error and eros.
That's why I don't fall.
Think about how many times men and their overly animated reproductive pieces have got them into trouble.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Well, hey, it's like Christmas. Why shouldn't we? Come on.
Well, I mean,
but no, I'm talking about error.
Me already. Sinning. I mean, it's like you're wanting a Christmas special, and I'm very unorthodox, so I'm trying to behave.
Doing a damn fine job of it too, I might add. So very impressed. But it is, look, gentlemen, it is time though. Like we've overshot the mark here by let's an hour, half an hour, because we're looking at 90 minutes a pop here. We don't want to do anything more than that. It is quite draining. We really have to pace ourselves here.
When you get
You
a
never know who's
chance,
going to show up.
when you get a
Yeah.
chance though, go on Discord and check out John's Discord channel. He just got it started. Freaking, he's
I-
got some cool people on there.
Yeah, we're plugged in. You
I
you
know.
get the link.
I'm
We're
saying
good
go
to go.
actually look at it. He's got some cool people
No.
on there so far.
Every time, okay, what I'm doing now, basically, and there's a lot of these mega, I was checking like Discovery Christmas channels, and they're like, what, 40,000 people online, and it's like, holy shit, like, what is this? And I can't even get access in. It's like verify, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what the hell are they looking for? What are thumbprint here, digital ID, all that crap. It's like, oh God, forget it. So, but I did a search for like, how we got this one room set up, coffee with Jaffe. Search for coffee, you couldn't even find us. There's all these other coffee rooms, so,
Network,
and pardon me.
network with friends. Like
Oh,
that's the one thing, man, that I was writing in your chat room about. Like, networking isn't about computers. It's been around way before computers even became popular. You got to think.
obviously that, yeah.
And like in this circumstance for me, I'm more on networking with freaking people who are like-minded, who are, who I consider friends. Just network with them, and that's the best way to do it. Don't get
Yeah,
caught
I'm
up
happy
on
and
that.
content. Exactly. That's right. It's good to make new friends though as well. And see, but not, I'm not going to put a whole lot of unnecessary energy into it because I just don't have the resources, don't have, like the interest. And if it happens, it happens. And ideally these people should be coming to us anyways. They should, like Sonia did, she just showed up out of the blue one day.
You want
right?
a cool show? I'll tell you a cool show. You get John and Nancy on here with you, and those two.
Oh yeah.
Those two will freaking be
Nancy.
Nancy
Like, okay.
and John, dude, together is like freaking amazing. I heard them on the last one. I don't think they talked to each other
John's
since
so
then.
bloody quiet. He's not doing enough, man. It's like John just totally kind of chilling and laying back. I guess
Oh yeah,
John,
I'm listening.
yeah, it's, you got a voice. You could really you could unleash, obviously, and let her rip. So, but
John,
I guess,
Nancy,
like,
and Bullhorn.
being respectful, because that's the way I am too. Like if I'm on another person's live stream, it's kind of like just basic protocol or etiquette, good kind of
Yeah.
good manners. Like, don't.
I don't know you guys very well, and but we talk about very different things too. I mean, I'm all news and politics. I don't talk about like the religious stuff at all.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I see. So you you go out of your way to keep it complete as secular as possible. Is that right?
I don't go out of my way to do it. It's just the way it is.
I see. Okay. You self-identify
I
as
have
an atheist?
one of my co-hosts, Barry, is very religious, and so he brings it up quite often, and especially when it comes to like how the Constitution was written and why how important religion was in the founding of our country, and those types of things.
Oh, really?
Keeping it in place in the future so that we can have the country we were promised, or we inherited.
Thomas Jefferson, I guess, he was a central player, was he not? Or was there's a lot of behind the scenes maneuvering and activity that most people have no idea. It probably remains a mystery even to this day, although the role of the Freemasons cannot be overlooked or overstated, really. I guess it could be overstated, but it shouldn't be, frankly, because they're right there front and center, however you choose to look at it.
That's the thing that a lot of people have a hard time with, because they think when you hear Freemason, everybody thinks conspiracy, and it's not. Like Freemasons, were there were active Freemasons that were founding fathers here in the United States. George Washington was a Freemason.
And they weren't conspiring.
No.
What is politics?
Politics. Money. That's all
You,
it
you
comes
don't,
down to.
yeah, money, military, money, media, and mafia. Those four M's. Basically, the way Schuff laid it out for us back in the day, giving him the credit that he deserves. Even though he still can't figure teams out. That's one reason we should maybe crank up Jitsi. It's like, look, dude, just click on the link. You know what I mean? That's all you have to do. You know what I mean? Jitsi, the
Yeah.
VoIP.
Yeah.
Just click on the link. You're like, it's like, I don't know how to turn on the Teams. Like, oh, geez. Just, okay. I should have a little more patience with some people, obviously, because I'm sure some people get impatient with me, and because of my lack of,
No way.
I get frustrated with myself, with my lack of.
I wanna
technological
go over what
aptitude.
Rufus is with you too, because you've been talking about Linux, and I think kind of going over what Rufus is will help you install Linux on your own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Well, I'll tell you
it's
what.
really
I gotta,
really simple, and
I gotta send you the screenshot that we did. Okay, I think. Did you see it? That we shared the other day? Was that? I don't think it might have been just a direct, like private thing that we sent to Mark, but it's a screenshot of what we have here with what we're getting as a message, the opening, the best that we can do as far as the breakdown of like the code, the way that it's what it is essentially. I think we need to flush the memory. I was running torrents on the computer, and I think it filled right up, and it's screwed so that Linux it loads, but only to a point, and then it's like, no, we're not going any further. So I need to hack in there somehow. Would be ideal, and just get rid of some files.
partitions.
That's all I got to.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. That's right.
delete the
So,
partitions and then install the Linux with a thumb drive, and you use Rufus to convert the Linux program over to
Okay.
a thumb drive and just plug it in.
All right. Could you walk me through if we
Yeah.
did this
Yeah.
at some point?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, let's do this maybe after the campaign wraps
Sounds
up then,
good.
because
Sounds
I'm just sick and tired. And, Mark's talked about lending a hand, and I appreciate that. I think he means well, but he's busy with with his work as it is in the
code.
real world. And
You don't ever want to code, dude. If code's involved, then you're doing it the hard way. Just let me.
what do you mean? Oh, you're saying to hack in or to
anything?
get the job done?
If you
whatever it
have to
takes.
code, it's hard. Trust me. You're doing it.
I
the
kind
hard
of
way.
like using it though sometimes, but I hear what you're saying. If there's an easier, why not?
Right.
And this is what Rufus does. It helps
Yes.
to bypass.
And it's
Okay.
free.
All right.
The coolest thing about Rufus
free.
is it's free, and the guy
Great.
who brought it into public use, he actually wanted it free because he said that if he wanted his product to get out, it would be better for him to give it out for free so that people know who he is. And he's probably one of the coolest dudes when it comes to open source. So if you ever
I think.
anybody who
But-
needs help with it, check Rufus out. RUFUS.
Yeah. I thought everybody already knew who he was, especially given the fact it's Christmas time. Come on, man. Rufus the red-nosed reindeer
Oh yeah.
had a very shiny nose. And if you ever thumb drived, you would love the way it goes. You're gonna hack in Rufus the
Wow.
red-nosed reindeer. Yeah, right.
Just do me a favor,
yeah.
don't let
Nice try,
nobody
buddy.
know that I actually do like open source to an extent.
Okay, well, we'll just between you and I then, all
Yeah.
right? Just the
And
two of us. We'll keep it on the down low.
Okay, and Linux still no. Just
Very, very careful. Nobody else. Just the two of
Okay.
us.
okay.
As Tran, our Vietnamese friend out of Toronto, might say.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very careful. Just the two of us, okay? We keep it on down low. Down low. Nothing. No big deal. No big deal.
He won't
No
talk to
fuss.
me
No
no more,
fuss.
dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was
Come
talking
on.
to him about AI, and he got
His nose out of the joint?
well, it was a little bit too technical for him, and he got
Yeah.
upset, and he won't come on my shows anymore and talk to me.
What's his, but what kind of line of work is he in? Isn't he a computer guy?
Yeah,
But what does he do? Is he like sales or
no,
something?
he does straight code. He does
Oh, I see.
he
Okay.
does the whole he's set up. He goes in and does code, freaking cleans it up, the whole 9 yards.
Oh,
He's
how
the
about that?
smartest out of me and Mark and him, dude. Freaking
Right.
If you
Yeah.
want shit taken care of, you talk to Tan. Tan will
Yeah.
take care of it. Tan
Yeah.
Tran.
You know how those Asians are. Never wanting to liking to be upstaged by anyone. So
I don't want to get my butt kicked by a short
swallow
dude.
your pride, Tran. We love you, man. You got to swallow your pride. And yeah, the Koreans here, man, if they don't get 100%, they totally lose their shit.
Mm-hmm. I was telling
Seriously.
somebody about that, about how you guys get beat by your Oriental women. Like Tan won't ever talk out of line to his wife, dude, ever.
Really?
Yeah. Like he won't do it, and I know you've said that your wife's come off the hinges a couple of times, and I told Robert that, and my brother, and he's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, dude, freaking they're psychos.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll this is a topic we'll have to revisit at another time. But yeah, as it is, I'm not sure if we're actually we might get cut off here from Teams. We've been
Yeah.
running this for a while. We did get a notification here. They are gonna do that here within the next few minutes. But thank you once again. Let's hear Roger Hansen over in Minds. Of course, we'll add your contact information to the archived end of things that'll be appearing here hopefully before we go live again. Although, well, don't hold your breath, folks, because we'll probably just be barely getting out of bed and scrambling to get everything in place for the next upcoming show and installment to the campaign. Our 4th edition of this year's Operation Secret Santa 2025. Cool. Nothing like Secret Santa as it's conventionally known in the West whatsoever. And that's something that people, I think we need to emphasize right off the bat. And I tried to make a note of getting out there and reminding people we don't accept any direct donations. We do not directly solicit anything. Sometimes people insist. And if they do, it's like, well, what can you do? It's like, all right, if you insist, fine. We'd rather you not, but fine. We'd rather you selectively sponsor somebody else, somebody out there in need, or just keep us up to speed or abreast of what's happening in your community. And, like I said, it's a lot of moving parts, and nothing like UNICEF or Red Cross. We've covered that already, Salvation Army, what have you. So, and anybody can do it. Live streaming personalities such as yourselves, of course, Roger, Mark, via Rodriguez Productions, or John here. Just anybody, so long as you are dialed in. I would argue dialed in and got a clear sense of what our formula and magic Christmas elixir, what it entails, the open sourced magical Christmas elixir in all of its various components. And if you've got anything more constructive to add to it, by all means, that's what the open sourced angle is all about. But we're pretty adamant in that if you choose to come on as an affiliate, someone that we can in turn then, promote, that you've got to ensure that you're not directly soliciting any donations, and that you're working the best you can in encouraging people to selectively sponsor, take on the role of secret Santas, and then selectively sponsor others out there who are in need, obviously. So, but yeah, I think I'm pretty much running on fumes here. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
All right, man.
But hey, it's a pleasure. Ed. Censorship
Thanks
sucks.
for having me.
Minds.com. We'll got your contact information there as well. And Roger,
And I got a show today at 6:00 p.m. Eastern time. So check us out over on Dragus Productions over on Kick or Rumble or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's going to be in focus or on the table there as far as talking points are concerned? The Rob Reiner, that whole insanity.
Probably
so
get
sad,
into that to some degree. Yeah,
just tragic and heartbreaking. Even though like so many people they were not down with his politics, but you don't like there's unless you're Trump, of course. You're most sane, people with like a heart. It's just too much, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. And he made some great movies. I'll give him that.
Well,
but he was a total prick. I mean,
he was the meathead, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's like when you go back and you look at it, it's like, yeah, he wasn't all that great politically, but dude, he was the meathead. You know what I mean? He was,
What do you mean by that? Like that like,
Archie Bunker. Archie.
Of course, one of my favorite shows.
He was meathead on there.
Yeah, he was
loved
meathead.
it. In fact, can you think of the number of people that are just going back now because of what took place a couple of days ago and looking at the reruns? And I don't know. I've been sending his family just a lot of you send them a lot of love and prayers. And there is a horrific thing that occurred clearly, but hopefully they're in a better place. Presumably they are really in that they've managed to transition. It's a terrible way to transition, though. Terrible. But he talked about his Jewishness, but then he also talked about the Christian influence and love and forgiveness. So you can go back and check out some of his interviews. He could get really hot under the collar, and it did leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, the way that he rubbed people the wrong way at times, but not as bad as some people on the other side of the political spectrum, not naming any names, happen to these days, equally is the case. So
my take on all that, it goes back to Three's Companies, man. It's like them shorts at the beginning, dude. I swear to God.
Suzanne Summers?
Dude, nobody can wear shorts like that. I swear to God.
She just passed away last year too, didn't she?
Yeah. Every time I watch that show, that introduction drives me nuts, dude, because she's wearing those shorts at the freaking zoo. Like, oh my God, dude. Nobody.
Even Jack would wear them.
Oh, jeez. Hey, and Mr. Furley, come on. Good old Ralph Furley.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like it's so hilarious the way that he played the whole Playboy kind of, it's like, I got it. I really got it. It just, the comedic angle and approach. He just a great comedic actor, of course. So, and they're all they life is just so short, man. We're just all of us here passing through, and that's why I figure, well, what the hell, with the time we got here, let's try to lay this all out for people that, who knows, maybe at some point when we're no longer around, that people might look back and say, hey, wait a minute, these guys never really went anywhere. But what was this all about? what were they trying to do exactly? This is not like those other like really big, like this wasn't Live Aid, you know, or anything along those lines. But look at what they were doing from the ground level, the grassroots, you know. So this we can maybe do something with this without
Hey,
having to
I
get too
have
many
to,
banks or big institutions involved.
Jeffy, I've got to run. I hate to do this to
Okay,
you, but
don't
I
worry about
definitely
it.
have
Don't
to
worry
take
about it.
off.
No, we do too. I could
Yep, same here.
prattle on
But
for
thanks for
forever.
including me, and we'll
Yep.
see you guys soon.
All right.
Happy sailing, my friend. All the best.
Thanks,
Okay.
thanks a lot. See
Yeah.
you, see you around.
Yeah. Peace out.
I'm back out here too. That way you can go ahead and finish the show up and get. I'm still streaming too, by the way. I am simulcasting for you, so
I did. Yeah, I never even knew that. And that's via where Rumble.
I've got it on Rumble, D Live. Well, I did have it on D Live, but now they've cut my channel off it. But
Yeah, they did that with us too.
and I have you
Goofballs.
on my alternate account for YouTube, which is Roger Hanson as well. So
They shut us down here, man.
and I have you on Twitch as well as Kick.
All right.
So you're
Very
good.
good.
Got you on all those.
Appreciate the support, man. Maybe, you know, whether we see it tomorrow night, or just in, you know, like it's like God Almighty. It's like less than, it's like 10 and a half hours from now, for crying out loud. I can get by in a few hours sleep. So,
Yeah.
but we got, you know, get up and then boom, fly right into, you know, pre-production mode. So,
Exactly.
thank you so much once again, and we'll let you make your, you know, find your way to the door and
All right.
reconnect here at some point on down the way.
Talk to you later.
Happy
Jack.
sailing.
You
Peace
too.
out, bro.
Okay, so I believe he is off of D Live as well, so I'm going to go ahead and just end it because I don't think there's any channel that he's got that's streaming right now that I'm on, because D Live was the only one that I was going off of. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and share. I believe that I put his information in the YouTube channel description. It might also be on Rumble too. I can check. Let me make sure. They've changed the YouTube stuff around, so I've got to. Here we go. Here, yeah, I have the description with all the links in the YouTube channel, and on Rumble, I don't know if I do or not. Let me double check. Yes, no, it's my links, but hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, make comments, give some feedback. If you want to reach out to Jaffe, just contact me through my links or in the comment section, and I will get the word to him. So, talk to you guys later, and have a good day.
It's very